back with another one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on with the option all. So when I upload these videos, you are the first one to watch. So if I cause any confusion in the community, I'm here to clear it up. I have no problems retracting anything that I say that causes mass confusion or is incorrect information. So very important update. This is the initial post of CashApp's court date, which was August 14th, 2024. It says Chrisean will be seen before Oklahoma judge and will have officially updated afterwards. So before we get into what the actual date is, I just want to clear up a few things. First and foremost, CashApp has a commitment. There's two commitments. Now the second commitment will not be met, okay, until next month. And I will give you that exact date. And again, if I cause any mass confusion, I publicly apologize for that, and I want to make sure that the community is not confused. She is now serving the first commitment of the two that she needs to clear up. By the 7th of September, she will definitely be done, free and clear of the first commitment, and will not be held responsible or any more time added on to that first commitment, because the commitment is to serve 30 days behind Oklahoma bars. The second commitment is up in the air, and that's a commitment that we should be concerned with. That is the commitment that will be next month, and I will show you that date in September. And I say that we really should be concerned about that date because it could be basically rocking Chrisean Rock to sleep, making her think that, okay, yeah, you did get arrested. Yeah, you didn't come in on your own recognizance, but you are here. We got you here. Okay, let's clear this up and move on. Let bygones be bygones. And the court might not be doing no bygones be bygones. They might hit her with a sentence like Blueface. And the sentence might not carry good time. We don't know how that state of Oklahoma does their, legal system. I know people that are been in my comment section that have said that Oklahoma is no way you want to get yourself in no trouble. Period, point blank. And I'm quite sure because it's a southern state. A lot of activity doesn't really happen out there too much. I think the only thing I remember was the Oklahoma bombing. Rest in peace to those souls that were lost back in that time. However, there's not a lot that happens, and they're not going to tolerate people coming and being disruptive in their community when they don't have probably a high crime rate like California, New York or Boston, Massachusetts, or uh, some other southern states, ATL, Georgia. However, we don't know what's up in the air, and even the people that are in this field of the justice system, we don't know, because on a daily basis, if you look into case records that are public to us, we don't know whether or not um, the outcome is good or bad. She can get in front of the judge, and they can do one of those sessions where they all go up to the bench and they make a final decision at the last minute, and it might not be a rational decision. It might not be in, you know, the defense of Chrisean Rock and also the well-being of her being a single mother parenting by herself. The father's in jail and she needs to get back to her son. They might look at it like she put herself in this situation. She's going to have to do the time like everybody else. And that 4 years on this and 4 years on that crap that we seen, the breakdown of the 8 years, could math out to, and I'm not, listen, I'm not running with no 8 years. We're not even near the 8 year number, but it could math out to her doing up to 30 days, as simple as that, to a year. I don't know. Or maybe no time, just added probation time where she might just have to stay in Oklahoma and serve out the whole probation time, which is just as bad as being in jail, because I'm quite sure that's not where Chrisean would want to be, is in Oklahoma serving all that time, where she would probably have to get permission. They know probably she would have to get permission from probation to go if she had to do any legal obligations somewhere else or to do anything for work. She would have to get permission to leave that state, because when you're on probation, usually all states, I don't know of any state that has changed this rule, but for all states, for the most part, when you're on probation, you are supposed to let them know when you're going out of state, or that could be a violation of your probation as well. So keep that in mind. However, she could also get her probation reinstated on the second commitment that she has to go in for in September, and they can just put on more probation time and more stipulations and more community service to pay out. It could be a factor of things that could come into play, that might not be in the favor of Chrisean Rock. Now, we sometimes can't believe what the circus says, not even the head of the circus, which is Blueface. We know we did an interview a couple of days ago, and he said that she'll be out before he will. And he won't be out. He had confirmed until like the month of April. He broke down the whole sentence of the 4 years, because he does have 4 years. However, in that state, because of probably the population, most likely, this is why he only does 33% of that 4 years, but he did get sentenced to 4 years. And he's only getting lucky because it just happens to be a big state and they're overpopulated and they need those spaces for hardened criminals, real criminals doing serious crimes, not stupid stuff like Blueface. But he's saying that, and he's probably, because they're talking all the time three-way, and she's discussing what she knows from what she's hearing from her lawyer. I'm quite sure that's the only way she's getting this information, because if not, when you're in jail, they always say the best way to represent, even though you might have somebody represent you, that you pay for, but to be able to make sure you get the best represented in the best fashion, you want to make sure you are free so that you can see how this lawyer is working his set and how the courts are working their set and what time that they're on. When you're behind bars, you don't know what they could be plotting on. However, Blueface did hint that she will be out before him, for us basically not to worry. Now, when that will be, we won't know until she goes back to court. So I want to show you something really quickly on the updated court scheduling for Chrisean Rock, but she will definitely be clear. I don't know if they call it a bond or a bail. Different states use different terminologies, and I honestly would have to look up what's the difference between a bond and a bail, and I definitely will do that. So for further live streams, when I'm presenting information, I can be able to do the breakdown in simpler terms. And when I do another live stream, I will give you the difference between a bond and a bill. So I'm not too sure if it's a bond or a bill, but I know it's $25,000 after September 7th, on or after September 7th. They said the 7th of September, so she can bond a bill, whatever which one that is for her. 25,000, and it's 10%. I'm glad that there was somebody, one person at least, that was a blogger that added that 10%, because in my head I said, wow, that's a lot of money, $25,000, but we know that's an insurance that she's going to come back into court. So I just want to show you something really quickly, and hopefully this ends all of the confusion. 7 days ago, Chrisean Rock was seen before the Oklahoma judge, and it has been said, excuse me, by Hot Tea Hot Chocolate. Shout out to Hot Tea Hot Chocolate. I get a lot of my information from Hot Tea Hot Chocolate. She's been spot on, I don't care, a lot of stuff that she's been putting out here. And one, it's just her doing her due diligence. Two, she has formed a friendship with Chrisean Rock that's solid, and I know she doesn't want to put out false information because of the friendship, and I respect that. So the update here was 7 days ago. This is when Chrisean Rock went to jail. Went to court. And it says her next court date is 9/27. We'll be addressing the application of acceleration, and that is going to be the second commitment and what they're going to do with her on that situation. That's the situation that I was referring to that we need to be concerned about. And I'm just giving you an example of how it can change. It's like a flip-flop game. It's kind of like how the world is and how people are. 1 minute people are cool with you, the next minute they're not. Or just how life is in general. It's one way this minute, or the weather, and the next minute it's this way. It changes consistently. Everything in life is always evolving. It's never staying the same. So you can't just go and think that everything is, even a marriage is A1 from day one, and set in stone. Nothing's never set in stone. Things change and evolve on a daily basis. So I hope that I cleared up any confusion that we may have. But Chrisean Rock is definitely, for the meantime, getting out on September 7th. Now, if her having to go back in because of the second commitment, and it happens all the time. Look at Blueface. He had to um turn himself in on a probation violation, and he knew what his sentence was before he went in to turn himself into probation. We saw him, because everyone recorded it and put it on to social media. We saw him going in with the red coat with his lawyer, and he did the 7 months, which he ended up getting caught up with that paraphernalia being found in a cell, and he now was serving the 4 years, where, like I said, it was broken down to how much time he's going to have to actually do out the 4 years, and he's looking to get out in April. But this is the same scenario with Chrisean Rock. She could be free for now, but we don't know what is in store for later.